All right, what's up, y'all? Happy Monday. All right, let's go. Let's crush this week. Let's get into these charts. Let's make some music. I'm extremely grateful, as always, to be here with you guys. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mike. It would be pretty weird if you didn't know, since you're here. But hey, let's say you just stumbled and fell into this channel, right? I've been trading since 2015. We've been having an amazing time. I've streamed for well over 1 million people, even before a YouTube channel. Been trading with millions in funding, at least, for quite some time now. And yeah, sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's very shit. But that's trading for you guys. And what we do here is we're focused on one trade at a time. That's really all it takes to make it as a trader. It sounds a lot more simple than it really is. But yeah, let's dive into it. Let's make some awesome stuff happen. But more than anything, guys, I'm just grateful that I woke up, grateful that you guys woke up, and for our health, more than anything. Can't take it all for granted. Nothing is promised, my friends. So let's master ourselves. Let's have this full control. And then let's let trading help us do just cool shit while we can. Okay, with that being said, I had this marked up from last week. I see you, Rafa, Corey, Joe, Jay, Seth, Brandon, Alfredo, British Brandon, Greg, and happy Money Day. Let's go. What's up, Dre? So, yeah, I had this zone marked up from last week for a sell, and we've rejected this zone actually really well. So let's see, and then just let me know, drop a 1 if you can hear me, see the screen. That'd be perfect. But yeah, the way we already rejected this zone, it's like really close to the original move. This pushes about 380 points. And then this move down is just shy, like 350-ish, a little more than that. I think for me, this was enough. The way it moved during Tokyo is fine. Plus, the reason I'm thinking we're gonna keep going a little bit higher is because we still haven't quite gotten, we still have silver. Where's silver? We have silver here. That's one, not pushing much higher. But 2, it's got this key level it's trading to right now. So in the past, we've seen a bit of a little order block and imbalance. So imbalance and support right here. But then mainly just a ton of imbalance here with silver. So I really think we have... there's just more room to drop, to rise over here. So I think we're going to just keep pushing a bit further. I don't have the evidence that we're ready to go down yet, even though we're very close. So Yeah, what's throwing me off, I think if we wouldn't have gotten such an aggressive move right here during Tokyo session, I think we would have gotten this. I would have been more inclined to take a sell here. But here's the thing though, and this is why I'm like, I kind of still want to take my shot at it, is I see the market play off of the order block at the open. So a lot of times you'll see like a sweep of liquidity, you'll see the market create an order block and then finally drop. In these situations, I've seen just way too many times, it'll reject this initial, like the order block open right here, and then we'll still get our move. So I've seen that a lot. Now the one thing that, so like a part of me still wants to take a shot at this, even though our retracement's been pretty aggressive and we're borderline already making equal highs with gold's contract, so not the micro but the mini here. But another thing too is just price action. Like gold is still pushing pretty well to the upside, while silver on the other hand is already like starting to lose quite a bit of momentum. So it's not as clear as day. So as I'm weighing the options, like, do I take this with maybe half risk, maybe quarter risk? I just think that there's enough signs that kind of show this is a bit flawed, right? So that's one thing that I wanted to bring up. In case you were considering metals, now at least you have a bit more context and you're, able to make better decisions now. Now, big thing too, guys, I'm going to go into indices now, but I don't think I updated my watch list over here. But we did see a switch over from MNQ M, so all the indices that are ending in M with this last contract are now ending in U. All right, so that's really important. If you trade with like TopStep, then it doesn't. They usually just do it for you. But if you have your own, if you're trading on TradingView, typically on Tradeovate, it'll kind of automatically show you like, hey, we're moving to these contracts. But if you are unfamiliar, then now you know. So, quick thing you can do, whether it's the micros or the minis, you can just kind of throw them up in here. Quick, takes like a minute or so, and then you'll be good to go. So NQ, you do it with YM. The micro versions. And then, like Seth so eloquently, communicated in the school, if you also trade currencies, feel free to make those changes as well. So let's make these moves in QU. Now I'm actually going to keep the old contracts on here, or some of them. Actually, I think I might have already deleted it. Because there are going to be some moments where I actually want to see where we're at with the old contracts as well. All right, so let's see here. All right, go. Okay, so here's why I want to bring this up. When you're looking at the new contract, right? There's a change. There's like, you'll see a difference, quite a big of a difference. So, for example, look at NQU, so the current contract and the previous contract. What changes is the price, So you're seeing, and the current contract, it's sitting at 30,700, and then the old contract is sitting at 30,390. But price action relatively looks the same. All right, so that's okay. Just don't get confused with the price. That's the biggest thing here. Okay, just don't want you guys to get too confused with that. So let's see. All right, so now we're seeing NASDAQ currently sitting in this imbalance. All right, we had a really pretty clean sweep of this is Thursday, June 4th. Takes out Wednesday's London session, trades into the end of New York session here. So reversal territories here with NASDAQ. Then as you take a look at Dow, right, what are we seeing with Dow, guys? Dow has now successfully, yes, cleared the highs. So now we're seeing super, super bullish movement since the open. Incredible price action here. So with Dow moving and taking out the most amount of retail right now, if we were to get price action to kind of switch up, then I could see shorts on Dow. But what we're seeing right now, right after New York Open, is we're seeing a bit more of a push down with Dow than we're seeing with NQ. NQ is a little bit slower, not too slow, but a little bit slower. And then S&P here, zooming out again. All right, S&P trading up into Friday's, where Friday takes out liquidity during London. This is like London highs, and then drops down. So we're kind of in the middle of a few, let's say, mitigations, if you will, trading up into these zones, big pumps before everything dumps. So I do think we are in reversal territory. It then just becomes about choosing the right asset. So as you can see here, NQ, after dropping here, is now starting to rally to the upside. Dow is not. And Dow already successfully liquidated a whole bunch of these London highs, Tokyo highs, and the previous all-time highs. I want to just double check how this looks over here. So as you can see, with the previous contract, it's the same thing. So just in case, to make yourself feel a little more knowledgeable, make sure you're, dotting your I's, crossing your T's. So we've gotten below New York Open. This entire move here post like I don't know, like an hour and a half ago, just steadily climbed, took out London highs, Tokyo highs, and then you have the extra intake of volume right here. So I would love to see a sell out of Dow. Counter trend, so of course, I think I'm back. All right, cool. We're back. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I would love for sells here. I think if we can kind of establish maybe some support, start to build out some retail buyers, just load them up, incentivize buyers, then we can get a shakeout. But what I was saying was, when you're going against the trend on a shakeout, your win rate does go down. So if you feel more comfortable, let's say like you typically are a heavier risk trader on your challenges or something, counter trend setups like this, I would take with a little bit less, So that's just, I think, what I'm going to be doing here. Now, giving you another perspective, not that this push down here takes out, key levels, but you have a small spike to the downside right here. I'm sure you can see it a little bit more clearly. Sweep down, continuation. Then you have London lows here. So, I mean, looking for a buy setup here with an asset that's dropping the most, maybe not the best idea. You see a similar move here with NQ. So I actually think that indices are moving decently well together. Like it's just that when the markets drop, it's Dow is dropping with way more aggression, and then when the markets move higher, at least it was, NQ is moving with a bit more movement to the upside. Thanks for the water. So what do you do here? How do you trade this? Do you trade this? For me, like, I don't really want to trade this indices. I don't want to look for buys within the range that we're in right now. I think that it's too choppy. There's too much liquidity just kind of sitting within here. There's this little move down, but even that, I don't really like it. There's liquidity below these London session lows. We have our gap down here. Typically, people want to trade this gap. People think like, oh, there's a gap here, like we're, gaps have to be filled. But I mean, on whose time? Like when? Why does it have to be today? So I don't necessarily know if it has to be, if it's going to be today or anything. So I think we practice a little patience, guys. Practice a little patience here. NQ's ripping. Don't want to get ahead of that. There's no good signs that that's the case. And what I think we have more and more possibilities for is just kind of seeing this break and retest here roll out. So here's where we've seen Tokyo and London highs before, so a good amount of resistance. You can tend to find the market kind of create a support area here. So like I drew out for you guys, like this is basically what I think can happen. And if it does roll out this way over the course of the next 10 minutes or so, yeah, we might be in selling territory. So for now, I wait. And with all that being said, that will bring us to metals. So I want to double check metals. I stayed out of metals, as you guys know. And then, let's see, did this, nope, all right. So this just took out the high. So we avoided an L here with gold. Right, we can see that the market here had basically already rejected before. So for me, it was worth just kind of waiting it out. And then we have a lot of imbalance left. So, hello. We have more we can go. It could push higher too. So then you may be asking, so what about buys? Like, are there good buy setups with metals? So at 7:10 a.m., we had consolidation rolling out for about 3.5 hours. You see one sweep to the downside before the continuation. There's a possibility right here. And then the London low as well. So you had the market form these Tokyo highs, some consolidation, clean push to the downside before the market breaks above, retraces minorly, very minimal move here. Just about, you could argue maybe a 50% pullback here. And then the rally. So we didn't really get that with silver. So if you're convinced on bullish price action, then I think we could get some buys over here in this zone for gold. That would be having gold break and trade down below this, probably closer to this area. So This is basically the zone. I could see why people would want to kind of maybe trade in this as well. So I say I might take a half entry like around the open here, but a part of me does believe we're gonna break below this little 1 minute thing and then get down to here. The markets are gonna prioritize higher time frames over lower ones, so I could see this kind of being an enticement and then sweeping this low to then make the move. So something like this seems possible. Let's see how everything works its way down. Silver left a lot of liquidity over here as well, so yeah, let's just see how this unfolds. But yeah, this is what I'm looking like. This is what this is looking like for gold. Indices are still like NQ is still moving pretty bullish, if you guys are wondering. I think we're getting more and more proof for Dow right here. Just kind of chopping up in here now. Now we've been moving sideways for the last 9 minutes. So I mean, I'm down. I'm game for the short here. And then targeting London lows, you know. I think they've got some potential over here. How you guys feeling about this? Just you guys? What's up, G? Yul. Yeah, I did freeze for a little bit. I think I got dropped. Buenos dias, Katie. What's up, Keresha? What's good? Not interested in NQ and ES highs from June 4th. Maybe same time as YM hits with it. All right, so we're starting to push into the imbalance. It doesn't have to get to here. Also, so let's see. A little push right back in. If it's minimal, I'm gonna be salty. Right there. Because right now, basically, we're seeing break and retest buyers loading up, starting to push. So these are in profit, right? Retail buyers are in profit. I think seeing it run a bit more of like hype will do the trick. Not interested in NQNES highs from June 4th. Maybe I missed it. Oh, I see. Yeah, we talked about this right in the beginning. It's definitely, I think it's a possible. Yeah, I think they're possible. It's possible for shorts with NAS having more momentum, like price action being more bullish with those. I think that's why I'm a bit more open for Dow. So like here, it looks like this is kind of like the last leg up before everything drops. Let me see if NQ has a similar rollout. Yeah. All right. So anyways, got Dow pushing over here. So now it's within the zone, right? Here's where we can start to see those reversals. So, I mean, obviously, guys, you can pull the trigger early. You don't have to wait for me. If you see it and you're like, all right, nah, this is good now, then do your thing. It's all on you. So, all right, I'm gonna pull the trigger on this guy. So I'm in right here. My thought process on this is that we've incentivized retail buyers here. Now retail buyers are in profit, and so there's enough money as well over here for this to come back around and trade down and liquidate these areas. So that's my perspective. And then for targets, I think that we can at least work our way down to liquidate London lows. So that's where we're going from here. One thing, let's see, that I'm noticing now though is, well, that's happened. I guess it's changed in real time, which is annoying. But it's just the reality is that now NQ kind of started to slow down. Of course. So now it's making, NQ is making a lower high right here, while Dow is actually still pushing a little bit more. So that's kind of interesting. Because remember, originally I'm talking about how this whole zone over here, where we see and NASDAQ start to rip, you know, take out these highs and then reverse, which is like basically where we're at right now, like this whole zone, right around over here. So this is like where NQ had valid opportunities for reversal. It's a pretty big stop, so you really would have to, you know, ask yourself, is it worth it? Can I still get something of value through a trade like this? It's pretty huge, so I mean 1.85 is still 1.85, so I don't hate it. But yeah, we definitely started seeing some momentum shifting. On the bright side though, Dow's, you know, started to reject pretty aggressively. So if you waited, if you're a bit more patient, if you traded into the order block, you had a better entry, you would definitely be in some profit. Right now we're hovering just barely in profit, sitting right around entry. So let's see if this is gonna keep doing its thing. And then if you are under the impression that NASDAQ might give you a better opportunity, let's say it's a little bit less aggressive, then, I mean, you know, feel free to take your shot over there. So let me go side by side here, kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is we start to see that NQ here is giving us lower highs. So the high here was the 853, which was right over here. Wait, what? 53, 58. So right there. So this is still making higher. This is going above, while NQ is price action flipped to the other way around. So that's why I think we're gonna end up. I could see this trade being a loss with Dow, because price action has now turned around over here. Hold on, I'm on the wrong contract. So it's kind of a bummer, because now this is playing out, the other one isn't. And then entry-wise, the only downside is that this NQ trade, the RR just sucks from where it's at right now. Like, I want to take this, but the risk-reward just keeps getting worse. I can't really get my way in there. And then Dow just isn't really doing anything. So I'm curious if it looks like they're just kind of going to continue to drop together. So maybe we get a minimum sell-off here with Dow if we're lucky, while NQ still just keeps pushing lower. because look at how this just isn't really budging much at all. The push to the upside from Nas was about 130 something points. So let's see if we can keep getting that. If Dow doesn't really move by then I'm going to just manually exit this. It'll be a safer decision because we're clearly seeing NASDAQ is just carrying a lot more bearish momentum while Dow is struggling quite a bit here. So, okay, let's see where we can get here. But here you can clearly see the break, retest. Here's the retail buyers are loaded into the market. Obviously, like there's quite a bit of money here. So can we get the continuation at least into this imbalance? And then either it's a exit early or it's just trailing stops and seeing if that works out as well, if that would work either as well. So let's see. So if you want to notice, at least NQ gave a doji and Dow actually kept pushing lower. For all we know, we might see a shift in momentum. Maybe Dow starts to push bearish more aggressively while NQ kind of stalls out. That could work out in our favor. So NQ not quite mitigated yet. Dow now starting to fill some of the imbalance. So for shakeout trades, all I really need to see is an imbalance fill for myself to start adjusting my stop. So worst case, now I'm going to take a reduced loss. I'm okay with that on Dow because we started to work our way back into the imbalance that it created on the way up. So we'll see. And then on the other side here, NQ is starting to push higher while Dow is chilling. So this is holding. It's not pushing like NQ is, which means that bears are coming in for Dow. Okay. This is good. This is solid. NQ technically, I think it should still mitigate. It should still go lower. So this could keep pushing us. All right. NQ in this order block now. So from here it could reject. And then let's see if that's what it wants to do. It's seeking this little buy order before it goes and works another leg down. Looks like that's exactly what was the case. All right, so about a half hour, just about a half hour in profit. It's about 200 or 150-ish, somewhere in that range per account right now. Stops were reduced. So my original stop here was about 85 points. Now stop is sitting at like 50, actually 47-ish. So about half risk on the table as well. So risk has been reduced. Always love that. Now that it's filled in balance, we're getting this bounce right back up, like instantly pushing right back up. That's why I manage my stop the way that I do. Sometimes we get these like shakeout reversals and then they come back into this imbalance and then they just want to keep going higher. And that's all the market gave us and that's it. But for me, it's typically still worth taking a shot at the market to see if we get the full move. Sometimes we don't, and at least you get to, instead of experiencing a full loss, a small loss is I'll take a small loss risk opportunity to make 3 times, 4 times my money. I'll take that all day. So yeah, that's not really a concern for me. And it's remember, this sounds really funny, but or it sounds obvious, but I don't think we are as aware But when you take a trade, you have to just remember you're deciding to let go of that money. So when you enter a trade, you're letting go. Like it's not yours anymore. And if you enter it and you somehow want to be able to make money but also not lose, like that's not how this works. You got to be willing to lose. You don't have to be willing to theoretically lose. No, you have to be willing to lose. Like that money is no longer yours. You can't cling on to it anymore. Okay? You can reduce how much you lose. Eventually, it could be nothing could be at risk. But you can't just hold on to it. And then same thing with what you think is gonna happen. Can't cling on to that either. You could be part of what you think could be right. Like the market could have reversed, and especially based on your philosophy on why the market moves the way that it moves. And here's the thing, that's the truth, guys. Like we are like if you've learned with me and you've been just dialed in on here for quite some time, like guys, you're gonna catch reversals actually really often, but it might not just go as far as you thought it was gonna go. And that's why like how you move and manage things is really important. Now remember, if you are struggling with figuring out like what a system even is, or like, okay, wait, should I stop be here yet, or my exit should be here, anything like that, then like put time into it, put practice. We've had so many free resources here in Tradetopia for like the last 14 months since we launched here after going on our own. So I mean, it's all there. If you're still struggling, then feel free to book a consultation just with our team. It's free. 15 minutes, they'll kind of walk you through like where you should be, what resources, and then depending on you and whether you should consider our hands-on programs, whether it's the 30-day one for beginners or the advanced one that's like a year long. But yeah, so right now, guys, we're starting to get a pretty good reaction. And then for those of you wanting to check out that consultation call, then I'll just put that in the chat while we see this move. Here, just click that, and then you'll see it right away. And then I'll just pin this guy. What's up, Nadir? What it do, my boy? I entered YM. Where is this thing? Off the 1 minute order block. Nice, dude. I think we could see Dow hit 52K since we are in new all-time high territory. It did hit 52K. Yeah. We're above 52K. S&P is more bearish than structure. I prefer to take YM. Not interested in QNES highs. Oh, okay. I already read that. Got it. I'm with it. Cool. Hey, drop a W if you're in this one with me right now. Let's see. I think we got a good shot at it now. Things have shifted here. W for half risk. WWW. Tight. My protein's up today, brother. Yeah, don't miss out, man. Don't miss the gram. Get the grams in. If it breaks 1 minute lows, I'm reducing again. I was considering something very similar. So as we were pushing lower, and NQ is maintaining, so we're seeing we definitely made the right choice in momentum here. This rebalanced really nicely, so I do like putting ourselves at less and less risk. That's beautiful here. And it's quite a breakout too, so let me go 15 second with this bad boy. Yeah, like we were chopping, and then just like big move here. So I'm honestly, what do I want to do here? I'm gonna keep it minimal, very minimal risk now. The loss would be very small if it comes back up. Yeah, let's see how we push. Can we break below after New York Open? We got down to here. And then this is the New York Open candle as well. This was the open right here. Like this specifically for Nas is just the open. So I wonder if we're going to enter or get to here. So we got a pretty good move, and then starting to lose a little momentum. Let's see. Just desaturate this while we're here. It's a little harder to see. All right, so I mean, we did get a great play-by-play, right? Liquidity started to build out before it even happened. We traded into previous levels of resistance and an order block before the market moved down. So, I mean, everything's going according to plan. Now it's about the exit. Do we nail the landing? We'll see. Considering we're counter trend, I don't want to expect too much out of this. Even right now, the fact that this is kind of loading up, or we've seen I feel like break and retest out of these highs are just too easy. So I think we do break below this. That's why, like, at least London lows getting swept are on my radar. I don't know if we necessarily are going to get all the way down to here. I don't need it to. At the end of the day, this is like a mix of... It's like a delicate dance between probabilities and reward. Like, how much you want and how likely is it? It's like, what do you want to push a bit more? Do you want to push your luck? Or, and it's like there's technical understanding that helps us kind of take these trades, like be locked in with them. And, that's where you're like just able to get the more out of every trade. So for now, I think it's still in our favor. There's motive. And so I'm very much okay with holding on to this a little bit longer. It's starting, it looks like it's kicking off another push down here. The way this kind of entices up, I feel like we're about to just see it break through. If that is the case, then I will move my stops into profit right there. If we just start to see this break below this low right here. Reduce stop in stuff, Rafa. Anyone take profit already? By any chance? Like maybe you have a different risk reward setup and you're like, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm at peace with this. What I like about this move too is Nas is still not pushing down. So NQ I think still has another a decent move lower. So this actually should put us in a nice place. W's, I see Fast Track Gang is on point. Guys, it is the last day. If you're like, should I do Fast Track? Or if you forgot about it, this is we start in, 8 hours or so. So, and there's, I think, 2 spots left. So if you're going to make a decision. If you want to have hands-on help for the next 30 days and you're more of a beginner, pull the trigger now. Either hit me up if you don't know yet and you're like, I want more details on that. Or just do the thing. Yeah, so don't sleep on it. I'll make a post on the school, but I've probably bombarded y'all with emails and stuff and all that by now. For those of you that were registered, the rest of you, I kept your peace. But if you registered for the webinar, then yeah, you heard from me. All right, so we got a pretty nice push here. So we saw momentum kick in, didn't quite break this low, so I think moving my stop to here is a little risky for now. Interesting. All right, NQ starting to work its way lower while Dow is kind of going back and forth. Looks like NQ's about to break these lows. All right, we're starting to push lower. New York opens right here. So nice move down. Look at how NQ just swept this and then is recovering. Fast Track was the best experience. Yeah. Love that. You love that. So, yeah, okay. So, this is how I was considering the shakeout. So, here's where we had Tokyo and London highs. We started to just get the rally. Like, I think things just started to really progress from over here. So, I totally see what you're seeing, Sophia. You had, like, the 1 minute, the New York Open here. But the New York Open doesn't take out more liquidity, really. Like, the liquidity sweep started to happen before that. So that's why I consider this more of the move. And then the market, since the market specifically came into the highs, and like this is where it was luring in players, that sounds like, all right, this looks very much like a break and retest, which looks like a shakeout. So a lot of times it's not so much the time frames, it's just like, what is like, how, you know, it's like reading a story. What is the story showing you here? Okay, imagine there's not really time frames, but it's more just like kind of what's the, how is it, like what kind of incentives is it trying to give you? Like, does it want you to be buying here? So yeah, since everything kind of started to pump from down here, liquidate, that's why I consider this kind of this whole zone as the area of interest. At this point, instead of having much more risk on the table here, I am going to dial this back to just like exactly break even right there. Okay, so regarding reversals, since we've had over here, I'm just looking at NASDAQ. Let's see. So with NQ, I think typically since NQ's been more bullish, where could NQ, let's say, bounce from? I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get a little bit of a bounce when or if NASDAQ meets the London high and it's a New York Open over here. So I definitely want to be more protective of our money if we do if we get this next push down. Right now, what we're seeing from Dow is honestly like a pretty good support. I think there's more and more retail buyers in this for Dow as well. So that means if there's more buying, then there's more stops down here, there's more stops down here, there's more stops down here. So that's at least how, from a narrative perspective, how I'm seeing this and how I'm willing to continue to hold this for a little bit longer. Yep, for sure. All right. Anyone hit TP already? Are we holding? Are we holding it together? All right. Coffee time. A little retracement over here. And by little, I mean a big retracement. Let's see if there will be consequences for adjusting the stop here to break even. A part of me thinks NQ clears these highs, and then maybe we see another drop. Do I want to give it that opportunity? I think I'm at peace. If it's break even, then it's break even. Thinking of closing half, but I don't know if I should let the trade play out. Let the trade play out. Okay, so when it comes to trade management and getting clear with what you want or don't want to do, that's a sign, though. That's a good sign, because it's showing you that you need more factors that should just trigger a decision. So if you don't know, then what's your exit based out of in general? Like what's the motive behind that? Do you exit because of what you're seeing in the market? Is there something that's duplicatable, like some sort of price action or previous signs in the market that are like, okay, no, you should be out, because when this happens, you typically get more reversals and things like that. So those are things you want to consider. So I'm ending up this trade here with my stop literally as a wash. So I got nothing out of that trade, and then now down this goes. And that's because I moved my stop to break even. Right, my stop was here originally. It's above this. So let's see if it will have consequences for that. I moved my stop to break even when we got this next push of volume, and it didn't really maintain itself. So let's see if this ended up being the right decision or the wrong decision. Are you guys still holding? Did you break even? What's the consensus here? So light work over here today. Nothing crazy. Still in, holding stop loss at break even. Entry was a little higher, so I'm still in. Sweet. Yeah, you guys all probably should have had better entries since I triggered it pretty quickly and it kept going. So ideally, yeah, you guys should be chilling. Stop loss at break even, but still holding. Nice. It looks like that might play out for y'all. But it's interesting because now we're seeing NQ start to move down a little faster than Dow. Well, I wish the best for you all. This is totally going to work its way down. S&P has an imbalance down here. Yeah, that's moving downwards for sure. Nice. It literally it went into my stop perfectly. Sick. Still in, sweet. Holding. NAS just doesn't move like FRX, so I gotta look away. It's a little faster, more volatile, for sure. I might start getting more aggressive with my stop management because of how NQ and ES are becoming more bearish. Definitely understand that. Let's see. Gold and silver, chilling. How's oil doing? Oil at 80. All right, here we go. Come on, oil, give me something. All right, so finally, we gapped down to these areas. We worked our way down. Patience has prevailed here. And we're at this 88.6 pullback on the daily time frame. So this is the true structure of this market. And we got back below the gap here. And now we're where we've seen actually some price action in the past. So over here is where we saw a little bit of traffic. So this area is where we had a last really aggressive push to the downside before the market started to rip. So can we get reversals from oil over here? Absolutely. And remember, this is a big reason on why I like oil buys, and especially as a swing trade. is that I want you guys to consider the following right now. Right now, think about this. Indices are they're trading above price. Or at least Dow is, right? Dow is at all-time highs. While we're seeing this, let's see here. So yeah, Dow all-time highs, while we're getting NASDAQ and S&P also like to fill imbalances and all that good stuff. So can we get oil reverses out of here? Does it make sense? Yeah. But I think what matters more is like you gotta wait for the setup. So right now, for example, we saw London sweep Tokyo lows, come back up to here. It filled some of the imbalance, but it broke above imbalance. And this is just squeezing. A whole bunch of squeezing. Like a ton of liquidity, just moving sideways. This isn't really a setup for me yet. So I'm going to keep waiting for this to get a bit more decisive. Maybe we break London lows, it comes in again. Maybe it's a shakeout, maybe it turns into a mitigation. But I do think sometime this week we probably have a nice opportunity. And then for sells, the shakeout was here. We briefly talked about this. I just didn't get in. So yeah, it kind of sucked. But the sells are definitely valid over here. So at some point, can we see sells over here? For sure. For now, I just have alerts around London highs, London lows, the New York high from Friday. So keep your eyes on the market because I think oil will be giving some pretty key opportunities here soon. Looks like Dow kept pushing higher. Okay. So it put us into position to profit, but it just wasn't enough, to make it to at least cash in, at least not for me. So it's all good. Nothing to chase here from my end, at least. And I think I know we got the mitigation, the exchange from sellers to buyers over here as well. So we got a pretty nice move from that point of view. Looks like it just about did the same thing, maybe a little bit short. But yeah, so regarding the markets, cool, chilling. Maybe we see a liquidity soup in the future somewhere, but if nothing's really cleared, then I don't think it's worth trading much yet. So yeah, I'd say keep your eyes on for metals. Maybe later you get the buy that I was talking about here with gold, especially that we've just had better and better price action over here. It's looking like we might have better opportunities. And that's it. That's all you guys got from me as of right now. Let's see what else we can look at. Regarding, let's see, did SpaceX keep pushing today? So far, decent. Obviously ended up trading down here, gapped up. Yeah, whatever. Nothing that I want to do. Adobe with a decent bounce. Nice. We got another options play running here. I think we're in at 204, 203, 202, somewhere over here as well. This is a long-term play for me. Where is? Oh wow. Okay, I'm so surprised. So I know that for PSKY, so it's Paramount, Skydance, the government approved everything, so they're good to go with their merger now. Nothing really happens here, so it's kind of interesting. I'm like really surprised. I thought we were gonna end up gapping up a lot, so yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's another leg down or something somewhere. But now I kind of don't see it. So anyways, these look to me, this is also going to be a, you know, something worth having for quite some time here at least. So Paramount, Klarna took a nice jump. Some decent plays in here. Sweet. Airbnb up like 20%. Exits at 150 for those of you that are still holding that. AMC, nice little recovery. Let's see, where are we at? Coinbase with a decent bounce. Bitcoin had some pretty good movement over the weekend. So, where is this? 66.5. What's good about this coin? There might be some real-time data issues. Okay, hold on. Let me see if this chart actually is on point or not. All right, looks decent. So the buys were solid from last week. Sick. The break below and then the shakeout in prevailed. 60K entries. That's what's up. All right. Yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me today. If you want to hang out with us a little bit later, then obviously feel free to get involved with us on the fast track. That kicks off at 5 p.m. Central today. If you have more questions about it, then go ahead and click the link that is pinned in the chat. Otherwise, you know, stay dialed in, set your alerts. You don't have to live on the charts, but you can be prepared. And then outside of that, I mean, go do some cool shit. So take care, y'all. Peace.